We go. Well, what is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 6, episode 17. So yeah, the 2023 season kickoff happened with the LPL, the LCK, the LCS, and the LEC. The LPL is actually going to be going on tonight, right? Or is it going to be on the 13th? The LPL should be actually on tonight, or it should be on tomorrow. So yeah, the season is going to be kicking off, and I'm happy about that because, as you guys know, I love watching the League of Legends scene, and I need my season. I need it back. After too long without having it, it just, I get a little antsy. Like, man, I need it back because watching League and like being a part of this has been a part of my life for like literally like for the last fucking 7-8 years. So it's always the off season. Yeah. And you're gonna understand when we get into the league season, like there's really no breaks like at all. So like essentially after the spring split, there's like, okay, every other region just wraps up, and then you have like this 2-week break kinda, and then you get MSI runs until literally until the summer split. There's like another little mini 2-week break kinda. After that, it's summer split. That lasts until like essentially almost September or the end of August. Then after that, there's another little mini. There used to be just a month break until October, but now they kind of shortened that. So September is not really as a full month like it used to be. Then after that, now you have Worlds, and then after that, you have the off season. And after all the off season, concludes, then you have just the holidays, and that's it. So literally just basically December and half of January is just a full break. That's essentially it. That's the only real break you actually get, given the fact that, the league season runs pretty much all year nonstop. We're constantly watching. Well, I'm constantly watching LPL, LEC, LCS, LCK. This year we're going to start our brand new series that I wanted to do years ago, but we never really like stuck to it. And that was the big issue with that series that I tried to do years ago, was that it was just kind of at random. And then, I kind of fell off of it because I just couldn't do it as good as I want to. But now moving forward, we are actually going to be doing this series, and it is a series that I talked about on my community tab, actually. So if you guys don't know, on the community tab, is where I'll be making updates instead of just doing a channel update video, from time to time. I'll still be making channel update videos when it's absolutely necessary, but, through the community tab, I can just simply give you guys an update. And if you guys watched my previous channel update video, you'll have heard the announcements. So if you have been actually living under a rock, these announcements are the fact that we are going to be having, 2 Cloud9 podcast episodes a week, given the fact that we are going to be having the schedule changes for the LEC and the LCS. Now, I know I've talked about in the past about doing episodes just primarily dedicated on the LPL and the LCK. So when it comes to LPL and LCK games, I'll just include them in one of the episodes that we will be doing that week, obviously. Then the brand new series I talked about is going to be competitive predictions, pretty much mirroring Monty and Thorne's competitive edge series they do on Last Free Nation. Basically, it's just us predicting the games. We submit our predictions. That way, no one can say, I didn't predict that shit. Because, Chaz is going to be, man, I predicted that shit. I can already tell this motherfucker's going to be trying to get out of his predictions and shit. But, yeah, we're going to be doing a brand new series called Competitive Predictions, where we're going to be predicting for the matches coming forward within that week. The LCS is confirmed to be starting on January 26th. The LEC is supposed to be coming out a week earlier, actually. So we'll have that to go over Let me look at that right now. Let me go to Leaguepedia and let me see when the LEC is dropping, because the LPL is coming back very soon in terms of like tomorrow. So that's actually pretty good. Let me go to the LEC. All right, so LEC for 2023 is actually going to begin. Yeah, they announced it on the 21st. So basically, let's. Oh my God, why are these ads popping up? Jeez. Every single time, we always have fucking all these ads. All right, so not this week, but the next week is when everything starts again. And that's actually going to be really awesome, because I just needed the scene back, you know? So next week, you guys will get the first two videos in the brand new series, actually. So we'll get with that. And if there's a big like marquee LCK or LPL matchup, we'll just, predict for it in that series. So 2 Cloud9 podcast episodes a week. Then you are also going to be getting competitive predictions. I am super excited to see what this year is going to offer us. But yeah, all those formal changes out of the way. Chaz is going to be, this is going to be Chaz's full year watching everything through spring, through MSI, through summer, through Worlds.
Yup, I got it's gonna be a busy year too, because I got League, then I got Top Chef I watch, plus sports. Yeah, yeah. And BattleBots. BattleBots is on right now.
I used to love watching Hell's Kitchen. That shit was fire, actually.
I used to watch it. I used to love it until I realized like most of the people who won were in worse condition than the people who lost. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
I like that show that Gordon Ramsay used to go around and save the small restaurants.
Kitchen Nightmares. He
that was peak.
He went
right?
to Stanford, Connecticut right there. Like a restaurant I work.
Really?
I work at, but the restaurant right down the street or right on the same block.
That's crazy. Yeah,
they closed out years ago.
Well, they couldn't. They didn't think. What? Wait a minute. Was that the one with the black people?
No, Italian people. It's.
That's what the Italian people with the do. Oh, I think I know what story you're talking about. Wait, they sold it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think right there that show was like peak Gordon Ramsay right there back in the day. Like, that shit was
that's
fire.
The first 2 seasons.
Yeah. Like he didn't like. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why I fell off those shows. None of them were actually bad. Like it feels like when you've watched enough episodes, you kind of seen them all, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like same thing with Shark Tank and shit. I used to watch Shark Tank for a long time. Holy.
I got the episode right here. I'm about to link you in Facebook. Yeah.
Damn, you were so close to having Gordon Ramsay visit you. Holy
fuck.
No,
this is years ago. This is while I was still at school. I did walk past it though. Like I remember that.
Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. LCK is beginning.
We get a chance. Yeah, just check out that episode. I can show you that, or I can show you like a shorter version. I think
this page is all fucked up. What the hell? Is this page all fucked up now? Oh, so I know people asked for this too. The LCK is going to be introducing a double elimination system in their domestic region too. Last year they changed their playoff system, and then they actually didn't have double elims. It was the original playoff system where highest seed gets a bye, you fight until there's a winner, but no losers bracket. Now this year there's going to be a losers bracket. Now the LCK, people don't understand, the LCK's original system, even before they changed it last year, was some jank shit. So you play BO3s in the LCK, and it wasn't even top 6 that made playoffs. It was actually top 5 that made playoffs. Then the first round was the wild card round, and then the bottom 2 teams play a BO3. So after playing an entire split of BO3s, you play another BO3 right in the playoffs, and then after that, you go through your bye system. Even more, back in the day, was so janky that if you got first seed in the LCK, they auto-qualified you to the finals. So you automatically would fit, you guarantee a top 2 finish in the LCK back then. I'm so glad they changed that, because there were some times where, like, I don't know, like, why would you want to auto seed a team all the way to the finals? You know, like that's ridiculous, right? I'm glad they had to stop doing that. That was bad. Like most of the time, even if like T1 or SKT back in the day didn't get first place in the regular split, they always made it to the finals. They always won most of the time anyway. You know, I remember there was this like stat they had where like all the teams that pretty much auto qualified to the finals mostly always lost. And people were like, why? Well, if you don't play against any of your competition and you just kind of wait to the finals, it's not even just about like warming up. It's more like you've had no time to practice your strategy against like anybody. You know, you might actually be the better team, but the team that's coming in, that's prepped all their drafts, prepared all their strategies, potentially, like they've already been through the ringer with a lot of their best of, 5 matches, and you're just like playing your first BO5 or your first game of League of Legends in a span of a month, actually. If you factor in, if you were auto-qualified to the finals, you didn't play a single League of Legends game on the stage for an entire month, and you have to play in the big stadiums, actually. That's how crazy it was. So that's the thing that people forget to understand about how bad the old system in the LCK really was. And for me personally, I'm glad they changed it. And, all the domestic regions now will have double elimination for their domestic regions. And like I even was saying for so long, as we'll talk about because this is our only real topic anyway, and we'll just kind of head out of here in a bit anyway, because I like an hour and 10 minutes, because kind of want to just go and chill and play some League, actually. But I got to do something before I even start that. So Riot has decided to change the formats for MSI and Worlds, and I'm going to be going over them right now, actually. So MSI is actually going to be held in Europe this year. MSI was held in Korea earlier this year, and the Korean audience can be very bad if they're not cheering for their home team. Even more worse than something like I think just the Chinese and the Korean audiences are very, very hometown hero kind of thing. So if other regions start beating on their team or they start losing, it becomes a library in there. So this is something that I've talked about for a very, very, very long time with MSI. Now, I'll just start with MSI first, and then we'll go into Worlds, because that's going to be a bigger discussion, because Worlds offers its own set of issues and its own set of positives as well. But before I do any of that, I'm gonna actually share the stream out right now. I forgot to do that earlier. Also, I probably should be sharing these out on the Cloud9 subreddit as much as I used to. Just usually the one share that I do. All right, so let me put this live now. Oh my goodness, live now. Say hi. There we go. All right, so linked out the Cloud9 podcast, and then, like you guys already know, make sure you guys hit the like button as always. And these streams, I usually like them to get like 5 likes, but if you like on the replay, then that is actually fine too. All right, so they changed the MSI format, and I cannot be more happier with that. Because MSI became this thing where like the Korean and the Chinese team that would normally always be not only just the winners, they'd be the best team at the event. Now, I always advocated that why not just send other teams, though? Like, why not just send more teams? And by more teams, since it's spring, I always advocated that you could simply just, send the top 2 teams from spring to MSI. So let's use this year, for example. This year, you would have had Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves go. Then you would have had Top Esports and RNG. You would have had T1 and Gen G going. And then from the LEC, you would have had G2 and Rogue. Now, factor in how much more of a competitive event that would have actually been. Having all of those teams go, there's more added stakes and pressure to the event. But then RNG and Top Esports would not have been able to actually attend the event because of the whole situation that happened with MSI 2022. But I'm actually glad that Riot made these changes. And I think personally, they're going to use MSI as a stepping stone to potentially add in double elimination for Worlds next year, because, sadly they're not introducing double elimination for Worlds this year, but hopefully next year they go. MSI ran pretty good in the fans loved it because of double elimination, but the reason why I always advocated for 2 teams going to MSI was the fact that there's always been times where the spring winner isn't even sometimes really the better team. They just happen to play better in that game 5, better draft. It's just better prep sometimes. It really just depends on how you look at it. But I've always advocated the reason why you need better teams going and you need more teams going is because it adds another layer to the event. Like, maybe just because the team that lost in spring to the winner, like, people look at that team and go like, they choked and they did all of this and this. Well, if you realize the fact that if they had a chance to go to MSI, they could actually still show you how much of a good team they actually are. And there's been many times throughout many spring splits, throughout all the major regions, where like you have a really good, solid 2 teams that could go, but only one is allowed. I do personally think that 100 Thieves going to MSI last year would have actually did very, very well for them. I can't like confidently say they would play better than Evil Geniuses at the event, but I think that having their veteran presence-ship of a team against certain other teams might have played it a bit differently, but seeing how badly they played against the Asian teams at Worlds probably is a good indicator they wouldn't have played well against them, but it would have been nice to see how they would stack up against G2 and Rogue actually. But there was another split a long time ago, back in 2017, where Cloud9, the whole like Jensen didn't hit hourglass kind of thing, where you have TSM and Cloud9, 2 pretty solid teams for North America at the time. This was back when Doublelift wasn't playing for TSM because he had taken that spring split off. You had Cloud9, who was a really, really solid team at that current moment in time, and they narrowly lost to TSM, and you see TSM perform that badly at MSI 2017, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if they had allowed if they had just allowed more teams, you could have had Cloud9 competing with the likes of, your WE, your G2 Esports, your other teams, because that same year, that Cloud9 team got out of a group of death with SKT and EDG. EDG were the LPO winners, SKT were the defending world champions. Then Cloud9 went on to face World Elite, and because of just shitty drafting, where Reaper just got too ahead of himself, they almost beat World Elite. They almost made top 4 that year. So someone gonna tell me that they wouldn't perform very well at MSI? Like, they actually did it in a much more harder situation. So I would come to believe to myself they could do it a much more not easier situation. I think they were just a better team. The fact of the matter is that shit happens in BO5s and you simply just fucking lose, and it just happens to be that way. Oh, I saw my virtual background. I didn't even fucking notice that shit. Oh shit! I didn't notice I had the virtual background on. I'm in the house, just like Rogue. So that's just my thing. Also this year, just last year, imagine having Rogue going to MSI and getting that valuable experience. Matter of fact, Ryan, you go to MSI, you get really valuable experience practicing against world-class teams. Now, just only one team going and getting that experience isn't really gonna make the region that much better. Now, imagine having 2 teams get that. Imagine 100 Thieves going to MSI last year, getting a chance to face up against all these Asian teams and G2 potentially, and I think this is going to make the event a bit better, because you factor in the reason why I always have been a huge advocate for double elimination is sometimes certain teams just don't play very well, given there's a lot of different reasons, but the main reason is, like, if you don't play against someone in League, it's so much weirder, because if you, Flying Oysters weren't even a good team. And 100 Thieves showed that they're not a good team, but 100 Thieves beat the shit out of them. Next time I faced around, it wasn't even close. But since you don't face off against teams like that, routinely, you're not going to know how to face off against them. Like, you just aren't. So the chances of beating them are about 50-50, because you don't know how they play. Their play style could be completely different. They could be worse than you, but since teams play a lot differently compared to other regions and certain teams, then it's just like, okay, it's like, imagine this, because in the Worlds format, we'll talk about that a bit later. The Worlds format, remember, there could be a situation where, I don't know, Genji is facing off against some random other LPL team, and they could be 0-1, and if they lose that, they're probably out. You see how crazy that is? And you know they're not a bad team either. Like, the thing here is the system just kind of fucks people generally. And I'm glad Riot has introduced double elimination. And for at least MSI. Worlds, I think they'll do it next year. I really think they will. But if we have to start it somewhere, at least we're starting at MSI. And that means that's going to be good because LCS fans are always talking about, if we just send this team this time, they would do a whole lot better. Well, we'll see. Whoever gets top 2 gets to go. So even if Cloud9 don't win, I don't care. They can still go to MSI. They can still go to MSI and RUR. People keep saying spring doesn't matter, and now that directly will matter for spring because people always keep saying that spring doesn't matter. So since they added in that 2 teams can go now, are people going to try now to go to MSI now? Now that gives you another incentive to go to MSI actually. Now, the reason why people sometimes have said that spring doesn't matter simply is because they lost they pretty much either got destroyed in the season, they lost in the finals. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, I get it. Salt always happens, but like, hey, people keep thinking that 100 Thieves' newest squad might have a chance to go to MSI. I mean, I guess there's a chance there's 2 teams that can go. I think that would be very valuable experience for them going to MSI and having that type of international competition for them. But this directly helps out spring better, and this also adds in a much more competitive event. And MSI's been whack for a while. Like, the only good MSIs I ever watched were the ones in 2019 and 2015. Like, I don't hate the event. It's just like I don't know. Just having the one team parity there just is so weird, But the best MSI's event, 2015, 2019, 2016 was pretty memorable. 2017 was just fucking garbage. 2018 was pretty bad. 2021 was pretty bad. 2022 was also pretty bad. Most of them MSI events, guys, are really bad. So I'm glad they indirectly made this event better. So now you factor in for the LCK. The LCK is sending 2 teams, LPL is sending 2 teams, and people always say, well, like, I'll just use 100 Thieves, for example. 100 Thieves, they're better than fucking, I don't know, like Fnatic. You would never know in old systems. You would never know. You know how people in League be saying, like, oh, Rogue would have lost to this team and because of the X system, right? You never know. You just won't know. Like, you just won't know because the system directly just fucks people, But what do you think, man?
Like, okay, my biggest thing was like, okay, it's like, because I haven't watched MSI. Like, I know that it's a mid-season invitational.
It basically, okay, in the old system, it basically kind of ran. You have your play-in stage, right, and then you have no, you're right. You have your play-in stage.
Yep.
The 2 teams that get out of that, they go into the main round, and then you just play out. But this year they changed it again. Earlier last year they changed it where like the weaker major region teams got a group draw where good lord, like people G2 and EG got fucking the Australian team last year. Oh god, they just ran through them. I like that the seeding changed for it specifically because like how you at World saw that those wildcard teams just got blown out, completely blown out. Yeah, that was what. In the other groups at MSI, it was nothing different. That's why I was confident that those teams were trash. Like, I knew those teams would be terrible. At MSI, they got completely destroyed. So I'm actually glad they changed. The format. I'm super happy with it. I've been calling for these changes for years, and hopefully, this will be a bit better. Can't wait to see other teams because there's always been spring split finals, guys, where a team just, not fluke wins. It's more like, the other team there is just as strong, and not seeing them go and challenge themselves at MSI is just going to hurt them in the long run, actually. I see MSK staying at Rogue's house. What the heck? All right. What's up, Michael? How you doing, man? What do you think, man? Are you buying that new 100 Thieves jersey, actually?
More or less, probably. Because I know it goes on sale in about 14 hours. Like, if I'll probably like I got the thing on my phone. They'll give me the heads up when it's like it's about to go on. No, sorry, 12 p.m. Pacific time. That's means 3 o'clock my time. Yeah, okay, that's even better. All right, I forgot I said Pacific time. That's means 3 p.m. That's perfect. That's me. I'll be up and awake as soon as it's going on sale. I'm gonna look to see what kind. If it's just this one, I'll buy one and keep it moving.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, they released a lot of the jerseys for this year actually coming up. Hunter of Thieves has got a pretty big amount of criticism. Now, unpopular opinion, this might be unpopular opinion. I didn't think it looked that bad actually.
I think like it's simplistic, but it works because sometimes when you do too much. To me, when I saw that baseball one they had a couple years ago, that's when I was like, why Riot gotta be an asshole? Because like that looks nice. That looks fucking nice. I actually like this. I like
so. This is 100 Thieves' newest jersey. As you guys know, for most esports teams, they change their jerseys out every single year. Years ago, they would not do it as frequently, but for like the modern day League of Legends orgs, they changed them out. Now, people said this looks like a soccer jersey. Soccer's a pretty big sport. Is that supposed to be an insult?
Even with soccer, both soccer jerseys don't have the collars. This looks like a professional jersey, and I was like, yeah, it's like I like that one of the C sticks with the collar. It just makes it like above the rest, in a sense.
So a lot of people said they didn't like the patch. The collar doesn't really look as good. That right there is a little out of place.
See, I think people are just kind of nitpick. I think what it is also, I think people are looking at the previous one and they're comparing to those.
Yeah, but it's crazy. A lot of people didn't even like that previous one. I love how people's turnarounds are so quick. Where like they didn't even like what they previously got, bitched and moaned about it, but now they got something else. They're like, oh, I don't like that either. The other one's better. It's like, well, what the fuck? This doesn't make no sense.
Okay, which one do you want then? It's like, yeah. If you say the baseball one, it's like, yeah, we all want that. That one looks fire. That baseball one, I'm like, damn, that shit looks dope as hell.
Yeah, well, but Riot went, you know what? You can't do that. And that's just so stupid. Good God. And then people remarked that the company had like a bunch of layoffs going on. Damn, girl, you looking all fucking fine in this.
I was like, damn, Ray actually looks cute in this. I was like, oh shit. It's like, and it worked. And some jerseys look weird on women, and some jerseys look weird on dudes. This is the only jersey I've seen that's professional and works for both genders. You know what I'm saying?
I think it looks good. When I saw it, I was like, I could definitely rock this. This looks fucking
definitely
fire.
rocking this. I'm like, oh shit.
Looks good to me.
Ray's birthday. Yep. Damn. It's not her birthday today, but
yeah, I don't really see what's the big problem with it.
Maybe if you want to call it basic, I understand, but there's nothing. I think that's the main criticism is it might be a little too basic. But if this is your starting jersey, you don't want to go too extravagant. I think people want extravagant. You don't go too extravagant. This is your basic jersey. Then if you get a championship jersey, of course it's gonna be probably a little more spectacular. This is simplistic, straight to the point. Right here, it's like boom, Brad.
I think the too simplistic throws people off. They're expecting like this extravagant jersey with all these different designs on it and all this other shit. It's like,
but then people were criticizing that too. It's like, wait a second, what? You don't want that, but you don't want too simplistic. Like, what the fuck do you want then? Like,
well, you're talking to a bunch of. But to be fair, like the league scene is kind of full of younger people who just, oh my goodness, they 1 minute they like. 1 minute they want this. Like people said this looked bad. And I was like, no, that looked pretty fine.
This looks fine. This
looked not bad at all. That actually looked good.
I like this one. The black with the red. I like this one a little more. But it's like this was last year. That's me. It was like.
And I honestly thought they were just gonna run this jersey back. I was like, that would not have been bad at all. Honestly,
I don't think that would have been bad at all either. Like
just running that one back would be fine. Like I I'm not the hugest fan of white colored jerseys. Like they had their championship.
I don't like white. I don't like white colored jerseys unless you're main. To me, the only white colored kind of jerseys I like are baseball jerseys. Like
yeah. Because baseball, I think baseball rocks it the best. Like I think because every time Cloud9 or TSM will have a white colored jersey, I don't ever get them really. It's very rare I get a white colored jersey because I just can't really wear that outside. And
white gets dirty too damn quickly, and it's kind of hard to clean that out. Plus the collar, as well. Like,
I hope. Okay, this is what I hope they don't do. What I hope they don't do is run. I want this version. I need a short sleeve version. They're gonna. I hate this. That the only option for these jerseys.
I think that's the only version they got is short sleeve right now.
No, because sometimes they rock the season colors. So like they'll have like a long sleeve jersey for the winter season and shit.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like
I'll take both. I'll take.
I don't mind a long sleeve version, but like I wanted a short sleeve though. Like long sleeves.
I ended up fucking up. I ended up getting one of each. I know. I ended up getting the one I wanted a long sleeve. I ended up getting short sleeve and vice versa. But because they ran out of my size, I was like, fuck. But I was like, all right, that's cool. That's not a problem. That's all right. Like I could go right now and buy. I could probably go and buy cause after actually nope, they're sold out. That's no, actually no, I couldn't. Okay, I did buy the right jerseys and it was short sleeve for the primary jersey. All the regular jerseys I believe is short sleeve. I think the championship ones are gonna be long sleeve. I kind of do hope that they do make a short sleeve championship one if they get to that point. Like, but these will always be short sleeve, in my opinion. Like, I from what I see, like,
Oh, sorry, there's a motorcycle outside. All right, so that when the jersey dropped, it sparked because 100 Thieves is known as a clothing apparel company, essentially under that. So people,
this is a good 7. This is a good 7.
I thought give me a good 7. New at 100 Thieves uniform has dropped. Rated on 1 to 10. Can only think of this. 6 out of 10. The shirt itself is clean, but the black circle and big white text doesn't work. Glad I'm not the only one thinking it. The 100 Thieves logo looks out of place on their own jersey. That's where the logo was before on the other one.
I think it just says C's. If it says like 100 C's, I think it would have worked better.
One bad redesign, old one was much better than this. Just looks like an updated McDonald's uniform. I get wanting to change your player kit year to year, but if you have something that works that is universally liked, just keep it. The last one wasn't universally liked.
That's how you know people are new.
Because not universally liked. 4. Fun idea to mimic a football kit, but I don't think it worked well. A tattoo bland, odd-looking cut, and if it didn't say Thieves on it, I would have never guessed you all made it. No soul to the design. Oh my god. Lots of missing sponsors. Yeah, guys, that's another thing to talk about too, which is not just 100 Thieves. Certain esport orgs have been having massive round of layoffs, and we talked about that last episode as well, where like a lot of these venture capitalists came into the scene, and a lot of these the funding and sponsors came as well. And if the sponsors don't feel as if there isn't a secure investment into the league or these orgs to eventually either get their money back or they don't see any growth, they're just going to pull out. Actually, the LCK lost a big sponsor. 100 Thieves has lost a few. Every org has lost sponsors. It's not really just because of the orgs themselves. It's not really anything they're doing wrong. Potentially, it's just how the economy is. They're just scared of how the economy is going to go. Like the looming potential of a recession. It's not always that the org's doing anything wrong. It's just simple fact of the matter is this is a money investment, and if they feel like they can't get their money out of any org, not just with 100 Thieves, it doesn't really matter if it's them. They're just going to pull out. And plus, sometimes deals have expiration dates. If you guys have seen the same sponsors on certain jerseys for a couple of years, after a couple of years, most deals just go away. I don't know what, like, for most esport contracts that I've seen that gets, signed on and shit when it's announced that these deals happen, most of these deals don't last for anything more than like 2 to 3 years. So they have to either sign new people, or it could just be the fact that, wait a minute, the economy is really bad right now and sponsors are just pulling out. That's it. The LCS itself has lost sponsors, so it's not nothing about them. Oh, that's the windbreaker jersey that they hoodie they had. Damn, girl, you looking all fucking cute. Good God. What's up, Concealment? What's up, man? What's up, Intensive? So yeah, the new 100 Thieves jersey took a little bit of criticism from some people, but I thought it looked pretty fine. Honestly.
Yeah,
I thought it looked fine. Honestly, I thought it looked pretty good. I would give it like a 7, 8 out of 10. I think it looks fine.
To me, it's a 7 out of 10. I think the basic style works. It's the I feel like it's missing the 100. Like, even if it's just like a 100, and like kind of like how they did it with the emoji kind of thing. If it just had that, I think that might have worked a little better. But I think overall, I like that one. Oh damn, there was one jersey we saw that was some bullshit.
That might have been the shirt. Because sometimes orgs have the basic shirts. If that was the jersey, oh my God, please never wear that on stage. I'd rather them walk out in fucking tank tops and wear that nasty shit.
Or just shirtless. I saw that. I was like, this is bad.
You got the nerve to criticize 100 Thieves' newest jersey, but you look at that FlyQuest shit and you went, I love that double standard. If we're going to play that for all the orgs, how about all the other orgs have their jerseys criticized? Because I've seen some. If Dignitas can make a better jersey and make want to look at least somewhat competent, if I'm done, like Dig's jerseys kind of don't even never look bad, really. They're just, nobody buys them because they have no fans. But, you got to factor in, Golden Guardians has looked the same for, like, how many years at this point? Like 5? Yeah. Ever since Golden Guardians have joined, ever since 2019, Golden Guardians' jerseys have looked, 2020. Ever since 2020, their jerseys have looked the same. They haven't even changed their jersey. They know why. Nobody's buying them shits. Like, at least 100 Thieves, if you can change your jersey and people are actively mad it doesn't meet their standards, that means you're doing something right. That means there's something there. People go, it doesn't match this or that. But that's just me. Personally, I miss when they used to make those playoff jerseys, actually, because back then 100 Thieves, they used to have a regular season jersey. They used to make exclusive ones for, like, Worlds and playoffs, actually. I think they should experiment with doing that again. I think that'd be awesome. But, yeah, for the most part, everyone, sponsors are leaving, not because of the league itself, or it's a combination of two things. Either they don't see the growth in the league, and they don't see their potential investment getting anything better in the immediate future, so they simply just pull out, or they simply just pull out because if you guys have been putting your heads in the sand, because you're probably mostly gamers, the economy is really bad. And anyone who tells you otherwise is capping out their ass, actually. So that's pretty much what that is. But yes, LEC, LCK, MSI formats look great. The LEC format looks absolutely amazing. And the players fought for that. And I think that's absolutely great. I wish the LCS changed their format. Not for like playoffs. I think playoffs is fine now. Outside of the 8 teams that make fucking summer playoffs. That's crazy how they're like, you know what? 6 teams do it for spring. Double elimination. We'll get that done kind of quicker. But for summer, it's got to be 8 teams. Like, why are you extending it? It doesn't really make any difference. Usually teams that are like 7th and 8th don't do shit anyway. I've seen this for years, guys. Ever since they introduced double elimination for summer and you have the 8 teams join, usually teams that are 7th and 8th are usually fucking dog shit and usually don't get far anyway. So I don't understand why not just have the 6 teams. I guess they're just trying to extend the schedule until the end of August, but whatever, it's crazy. What else do I want to talk about before the Worlds format? That's essentially it. A lot of things have been going pretty well. I mean, I saw the season kickoff for all the regions. All of it looks pretty solid. I mean, it was all fun. There's nothing else you can really do with the season kickoff. I like the fact that they kind of made it stakes, or like the winners get to choose their own in-game emote like forever, and you can purchase them and shit. That's cool. I like that. That's a cool thing. it gives it like, because for most games you don't have to have these ultra mega stakes where like someone's head's getting fucking lobbed off if they lose. No, just little things like that. Hey, if you win, you can design your own email and you can sell it in the client. There you go. Little things like that. I'm gonna show you something from years ago, because you know those world team icons you can flash.
Yeah.
So back in the day when they tried that shit, after Worlds you couldn't flash them anymore. I remember when they first came out, because back when they first came out, they'll come out all slow and giant. After that, like you could only get them during Worlds, and you can only flash them during Worlds. Then after that, in 2017, they changed it where you can flash them as a part of your actual emotes. But the LCS, LEC, LCK, and LPL had a thing where like they wanted to see like how many fans of certain teams actually were there. So they did their own in-region team emotes. I actually have the one for Cloud9 and G2. But I couldn't get. Someone's like, why couldn't you get one for RNG? Because I'm not on the Chinese server. You have to actually have a Chinese server to get on those. So yeah, that's why that happened. They were called team passes for LCS 2019. Oh, and this. Oh Lord, I want to show you this actually. Give me a sec. So here was the fan. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure Esports had this actually. Like, why don't they do stuff like this anymore? Team pass, popularity of LCS team. Okay, so this was back in the day. Okay, so this was back then. Yep. So keep this in mind. This is 3 years ago. Okay, this is 3 years ago. Okay. Let me go here. Okay, so here was the popular teams from years ago. Now, there's 2 of these orgs. Some of the stuff has changed, so I'll explain what changed. But here we go. Here were the popular teams essentially 2022, 2020, 2021, about 4 years ago, essentially, right here. So back when they introduced team passes, you could just grab a team pass if you're a fan of these teams.
Yep.
This is all right here. As they say, it's 3 years ago. So keep in mind, this is a long time ago. If the number of team passes sold are any indication, more Cloud9 fans than TSM fans will watch the C9 versus TSM game on Sunday. Right here. So Cloud9 was the most popular team by team passes 3 years
we got
ago.
Cloud9, TSM, T-Liquid on the CCLG, Fox. That was the Rick Fox one, right?
That was Rick Fox's org, yeah.
That one went defunct right after.
That one's Evo Geniuses now.
Okay, that's Evil Genius. Okay, Evil Geniuses became that, all right.
Yeah.
What was that Golden Guard? No, that Golden Guardians right here?
That's Golden Guardians, yeah, you're right, yeah. That was their old logo. That looked like shit.
What the fuck is this one right here? Next
Optic?
to
That's Optic.
Okay.
Optic is now
Immortals?
Immortals, yeah.
Okay. FlyQuest and what's this? EG?
That was Clutch Gaming. That was
Clutch Gaming?
They're Dignitas now.
Okay. I was like, damn, all these fucking
Dig were in the league before, but they got kicked out, and then they were able to reinvest back into the league when Clutch went to sell their spot. This was years ago. Now, I think they should do this now again. This is a cool idea. I like that they did it. I like that they did this. This is a really cool thing that they did. You know? But share LECs. They didn't actually share LECs because I'm pretty sure it was just G2 because they had the 2019 super team. The fact that FlyQuest has changed so much since then. FlyQuest were at the bottom. People bought more Echo Fox team passes than FlyQuest is. This is back when FlyQuest actually had pretty solid rosters back then too, somewhat. And they were actually competitive in a lot of splits too. They would randomly get like 4th. They were a 4th place holder for the regular season sometime. 100 Thieves back then, before they were challenging these guys for titles and shit. They were a solid 4th. This is when they were just barely a year-old organization in the league itself. It was 2019 spring. It was 2019 spring when they had Huhi as a mid laner for them. Oh, that was
Wait a second. Huhi was a mid laner before he became a support?
He actually was a mid laner for 100 Thieves at one point. So one time, me and James and Jimmy and another guy went to the LCS games. This is back when Huhi was a mid laner. That they were having so many problems. And Huhi, you know how you're in your base when you spawn? You know how those 2 turrets there?
Yeah.
So this is back when you could play mid Aatrox. Huhi was trying to TP to mid lane, but he ended up using TP in their own base. Everyone saw it. They're like, wait, why did he come to this team fight? Because he TP'd in their own base. It probably was a fat misclick, but it was so bad that when I went to go out and take pictures, he didn't even come out. He was that embarrassed. I was like, fuck. I was like, I mean, people aren't going to sit there and rag on you right then. You kind of understand, like, hey, man, it's all good. It's cool. But, like, oh, God, man, that was pretty awkward. I was like, people were like, where was Hui at? And they were like, oh, yeah, because we saw 4 of them come out. He didn't come out. Yeah, because Hui played for CLG mid lane for a bit. Then Aframu recommended that they get Hui to play mid for 100 Thieves, and that didn't work out at all. That was just a complete failure. Oh, okay, God. And then that was crazy because he didn't hack it for them as a mid laner, and then they brought him back, and then he won them a title as a support.
I was about to say, when did he become a support? Like,
he rolls up to support when he couldn't get any, because he wasn't really a good mid laner in general. At his peak, he was like the 4th best mid, which is not bad. I think people a little rag on a little too much. But if you're not top 3 in the LCS, if you're not Jensen or Bjergsen, people just think you're just shit, essentially. This was back then standards, right? Back when Jensen and Bjergsen were in their primes. If you weren't like Jensen or Bjergsen or Power of Evil, you're essentially just shit to a lot of people. So he couldn't really get on any other teams after his abysmal 100 Thieves performance. So he just rolls up to support. Golden Guardians gave him a chance, and then, later on 100 Thieves got him. But now Golden Guardians got him back.
Do you think he's a better support or a better
Well, he won titles as both a mid laner and a support. I think he's a higher ceiling as a support. It's not that I think he's a truly dog shit mid laner. It's just that if you compare him to the best, he does look pretty bad. But he's just an average, okay mid laner. But he has so many other issues when he was a mid laner too. God, that was so long ago. It's kind of like when there was this team back in the day called the Rocks Tigers. They had this mid laner named Kuro.
Yeah,
it was a lot better than who he was, but it was kind of like in the same similar fashion. Like, if you just swap this guy out, you could probably win a whole lot more. Like, I don't know if they have that situation still in basketball. I haven't watched in a bit, but like, you have this one guy who was not bad, but if you compare him to the better players, it's just such a gap between them.
It's like some people it's like Anthony Davis on certain matchups is a better power forward than a center, and sometimes it's vice versa. Gotcha. Okay. I don't.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. And the thing here is, God, he played so badly against so much players that were better than him. People just created this overwhelmingly bad reputation for him, and he was bad in a lot of games too. It's just people can be so harsh when it's mid lane because it's mid lane and that's the most important role in the game. But just even looking at it from that, I think the LCS needs stuff like that again, like team icons and team passes. Like, what happened to that stuff? That stuff was awesome. And I guess it would also show, hey, if certain people aren't purchasing your team passes, you got to improve your org or some shit. That's just me. Remember, Cloud9 and TSM were popular more than Team Liquid. And this was Team Liquid had fucking like double lift and shit. They just bought Jensen from Cloud9. They were the super team in the league, and they were the 3rd most picked team. That's crazy. For LEC, it was gonna be G2 and Fnatic anyway. Like, they're like, show LECs back. It was gonna be G2 and Fnatic anyway. It wasn't gonna be like, I don't know why people were like, whoa, who was gonna be the best? It's like, come on, people, what are you guys doing? All right, so let's go to the Worlds format that they updated. So, Perfect Terrain. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to look at this World format. 2 different ways. Factor in, it is a bit better than their older system, and I've always criticized their older system, always, because people got to factor in. Please understand this though. DRX went into the play-in stage, right? DRX went into the play-in stage. DRX were seated lower than a team like GAM Esports. GAM Esports got into the group stage. GAM got into the group stage. DRX and RNG were in the play-in stage. Now, I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching this, RNG and DRX were light years better than GAM, but based on this old system, because it was based off your rank and how like you won your region or how dominant you were, if you were 1st or 2nd, you got in a higher spot. Now, someone would say, why is that unfair? Or why is that bad? For simple different reasons, guys. You saw it. You could just watch it in the gameplay, okay? GAM should be in the playing stage based on how shit they were. DRX and RNG, who made top 8 and even won the event, were seated below them. Remember, Flying Oyster is seated above RNG. Flying Oyster and RNG ripped them apart. You know, the old system in Worlds was really bad. Like, I don't know why people even liked it. It was actually horrible. You're telling me, and I Warren and I think James brought this up too. It's like, but it's it doesn't matter if it's a seed. Remove the number. It doesn't matter. All first seeds, second seeds, third seeds, fourth seeds are not equal to each other. Okay, I don't know where that comes from. An LCS first seed is about as good as like an LCK fifth seed, if we're being completely honest here, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about the rank of the team. Okay, that means fucking nothing. The actual ranking of the team doesn't matter as much in this specific game because the discrepancy between an LCS first seed and an LCK second, LCK even third seed is very huge. Like, people forget, back in the day, it was hard for Western teams to beat an LCK third seed who wasn't even considered good amongst the other two better teams in the region at the time. Okay? That's how big of a discrepancy it is with League of Legends. It's not the same as, like, if I power ranked, like, I don't know, the NFL teams and I went, okay, the fucking Eagles are better than the fucking Patriots because of all these reasons, because it would make more sense logically how football works. In League, it does not work that way. Okay? It just doesn't flat out work that way at all. Like, in the other system, who was in there? EG, right? EG is in the playing stage, and Gam Esports is automatically in the group stage, okay? That's just, discrepancy is just completely irrelevant, you know? So the one thing that I did like that they improved with this system is that the LEC wasn't auto-guaranteed a fourth seed. Now, the LCS and the LEC will have to fight for that fourth seed. Now, this is something that I also called in my other previous podcast episodes, where if you're going to have another international event, someone said, how do you make it have stakes? Extra world seeds. The region that wins gets the extra seed. It should be just, this is what
I think it should be top 3 seeds of the top 4, and then you let the other, you let the smaller regions, they beat each other up, and those 4, like, you know, like, you make it 8, like, you make it that, okay, this how it should be. It should be the first, second, third place, you know, team from the LCS, you know, those major regions automatically get in, but the 4th-seeded team has to go for a gauntlet. The 4th-seeded teams have to go for a gauntlet of other teams from the minor regions.
Yeah, because we have it right here that I wanted to bring up for you guys. So this was something that I really, really liked, because right here, Riot Games announces changes to the format for the upcoming 2023 World Championship, set to take place in South Korea. 4th seed team from the LCS and LEC will face off in a best-of-5 Worlds qualifying series to decide which team will qualify for Worlds 2023. Now, the only caveat to this is, well, how are they going to decide which team travels to which region to do that match? Are they going to do this match? Because it says to qualify. So this can't be during Worlds. Because right here they specifically state this is to qualify for Worlds. So this cannot be during the tournament, right? This will have to be pretty much after you kind of have a spring split winner, or sorry, a summer split winner, essentially, and you know the other 2 seats going in. So I don't know how they're going to decide that. I think that's going to have its own fair share of issues in the future. I think this should be something where you decide during Worlds, like, okay, opening Worlds match, this is how you decide who gets to be the legit 4th seed going from there. But this will take place before Worlds, and we'll just use the example last year. It would have been Team Liquid versus Mad Lions. So the LEC got 4 seeds because of the whole situation surrounding Russia, actually, right now, with the whole crazy man doing that stuff. So now, Matt, in, a lot of people said Mad Lions were complete dog shit. And Mad Lions had massively fallen off from how dominant they kind of were in the LEC 2022 summer split. So now, I can't confidently say this because we don't see the fucking match. This is why the world system is a bit better now, because you can finally see these top Western matches that everyone keeps bragging about. You know, Team Liquid against... Okay, people can run on Team Liquid for how much they want, and they played kind of bad, but Team Liquid would have completely ran through Mad Lions. If Evil Geniuses can run through Mad Lions, I'm pretty sure Team Liquid would have ran through them as well. It wouldn't have been a doubt in my mind that they could have, you know? But I would never know that because the fucking system... from years past, always never allowed those matches. You know, that'd have been a highly viewed match right there. TL versus Mad Lions for the 4th seed. Going to Worlds. And people would say, How does this matter? It's a 4 seed going to the World Championship. That definitely fucking matters. It spells it out itself. Yeah, you could say it might be lesser quality gameplay because it's 4 seeds, but you can't say it doesn't have any stakes attached to it because it's a fucking best of 5 to go to Worlds. You know? That's how it is. What do you think, man?
No, easily. It's like when I see the new format, I'm like, all right, cool. I used to be the biggest fan of double elimination, but I think my thing is you prep for your opponent no matter what. It's like when you do a double elimination, now you're saying, "Oh, you lost, you get another chance." No, it's like you have to.
You don't think a loser's bracket has stakes to it?
It does, but it kind of does water down the competition because it's like no,
I don't think it does as much.
It should be once you lose, you're done. That's why every match should count. I think there should be more matches like in the group stage. It's like in a sense where because like sometimes there's tiebreakers, but it's like even with the double elimination is I just had a bad day. It's like no.
Okay, I'll give you an example. This year, remember the Genji versus Damwon series that was really good. Now we even said Damwon's probably the better team out of these two. Now imagine Damwon getting a chance, not just getting a chance, having another day to fight again. We know they're a good team.
I know, but that waters down because it's like even if you are the better team, you should show
Genji
it
went to the next round and got completely embarrassed.
But guess what? Damwon might have got beaten the same way. And the thing is too, it's like you gotta be prepared every single time. Even it's like and that's the thing too. It's kind of like, of course, there's gonna be stuff you can't control that happens, but it's like you have to. It's like when in that competition, you always gotta be prepared. It's like,
or even I'll say EDG when they lost to DRX. They were not good in a weird sense, but I wouldn't call them a bad team, right?
Yeah.
And imagine a world where DRX or EDG kind of comes back and that maybe EDG faces Damwon. I think that sounds pretty exciting. Or because I know people have mentioned the final aspect, right? So someone would say like, what do you get for being in the finals? For the finals, I would change it to be like, okay, if you make the finals, so if you're the first team to make the finals, right, you get the bonus of having your own not like a loser bracket, but when you lose, that's not the first time you lose. I would change that. I know that's a big problem people brought up. So in the finals, I would say even if you lose, you get that loser bracket feel where you can fight again. Because imagine a world where T1 loses to DRX and they face them again. Like imagine how hyped that would be, you know? And I think people say it's a time issue as well. And I think that's bullshit. So I'm going to show people this right now. This is why it's not a time issue. Riot just likes moving space to space. I'll show you right now.
It would just... I know it'd be more games, but the issue is it takes away from the competition. It's like if I give you another chance to beat me, I already beat you once. Why do I gotta prove that I could beat you again? You know what I'm saying?
Because League doesn't really work as a game like that. That's because League is not.
But you get 5 games. You get 5 games to adjust. You don't.
I'm saying, man. Fact is in, dude.
If you
all the major regions, all the major regions have adopted.
If you beat, yeah. But then it's like the team, like even C9 wasn't the best team and they won. It was like, you think C9 should have won the LCS? They weren't the best team. They just got lucky at this.
Thing you answered your question. Imagine having another day where 100 Thieves gets to prep and maybe they actually win the whole thing.
And then they might lose again. It's one of those things where to me it just makes the competition not as important because it's like
I think the matchups would be hype regardless.
It's like if I lose to you and I come back, I lose to you again. It was like, all right, you were just a better team, but then it's like at the same time, it's like, what the fuck was the even point of me facing you again if I was just gonna lose to you again? That's me. It comes off as like, why the fuck would I even face you again if I already lost to you once? It does develop a bitterness or an overly gloating depending on what side you're on. It's like if I beat you once, I should just beat you once. And
okay. So in a losers bracket, there could be incredibly strong teams there. Like if they introduce a loser bracket, right? So in the
but you
upper
should have
bracket,
won the first time then.
But you wouldn't want to go to that losers bracket either. So the upper bracket does give you the sense of stakes where, like, if I lose, I could also face a really strong team down there as well. So if there was a losers bracket, and maybe there's DRX versus, I don't know, like Damwon, like that's incredibly scary for DRX. They're like, oh, I don't know if I can actually beat this guy. Like that inherently would give the upper bracket stakes anywhere, or T1 if they have to face Damwon again. That would have been incredibly probably hard for them. Or there's certain matchups, like you said, you can't prepare for. So the parity of certain, like, do you really think JDG was a bad team?
Nah.
So like them getting knocked out by T1, is that a severe indicator of how strong they actually were? That's the problem with the game, though. It's like you'll never know how strong some of these teams are because a single day of elimination doesn't really show that. And then you factor in some teams that have won Worlds. I mean, most of the time they've been the better team. But the thing here is there's been other clearly just as strong teams that have just lost out. And you go like, okay, but this is a better team. But the other team that won
on the record, finals, you're the better team. But it's like when you get into that arena, it's like you don't know how this team trained for you. You don't know the adjustments they had.
Do you think DRX was a Cinderella story?
I think they got high at the right time. And they knew every matchup that they're in. And the thing is too, DRX coming from a Korean team, coming from Korea, they've already faced most of these teams already. They already know what kind of matchups they're going to do. That's when it's like, all right, cool. We know how to.
The thing here people don't see is like, because DRX to me, is an underdog story. It's a Cinderella story. But the thing about competition. But people said, well, wasn't it super hard for them? I mean, they beat every single team that was better than them. Every single team they were better.
But none of them were ever convincing. That's DRX. They were truly never the better team. They were just a better team to adjust.
Yeah, like so you look at that EDG series. That EDG series, they're literally two Nexus turrets away from winning? Like, were EDG that much worse than them?
No, but guess what? And that's that whole thing.
Well, that might just be choking. Maybe that's just me. Sorry. I mean,
that's the one with the bug. One of them had the bug.
No. This was the one where Deft tried to do the game 2 where he tried to solo the Nexus.
Yeah.
And then game 3 was when Piosik picked Kindred, and then they were on their inhibitor, and then they lost that one team fight, and their just brains exploded. Like choking just got them so hard. But I do not disagree. I don't. I'm just adding the aspect of like some of the competition that has been at Worlds, like some of the actual legit better teams. I mean, you would never know though. That's the thing, is what are they the actual best team that actually won the event? Because the World should show this is the best team that won the event, right? The best team. Now, was DRX one of the best teams here? I think so, to a certain extent, yeah. I think T1 is also a good team. But the thing, that means if we can see that this is the best team, or we can see that T1's not the best team either, because T1 were also incredible.
T1 was the best team on paper, but they didn't win. Like, that's
the thing. They were one game from winning.
One game, but guess what? They were also one game from losing, and they lost. It was like, it's messed up to be like, oh, they were one game from winning, but they didn't win. It's like you got to realize it's kind of like with football. There's 60 minutes. You got to realize you got to play to the last you got to play to the Nexus has fallen. It was like you stole what? You stole Barons, you stole Drakes, but it's like you were always one step behind. You always had to catch up, and that's what like cost you like the match, because you were up, and then DRX adjusted, and then every time they would hit you, you would hit right back. It was back and forth. But then it was like what? And it's like when you go sing with boxing, it's usually the last person that punches is usually a lot of time to win it, because that if that other person can't swing back, a lot of times they're just burnt out. And
because Riot called them a Cinderella story by Worlds. I was like, I mean,
no, I would because where they started from. where they started
that's
from.
More of like an LCK thing. They're a Cinderella story by LCK standards, not
I
World.
would,
Like,
I would put getting out of stages, like, even though, like, I would consider them a Cinderella story because of how far they had to come. Because they were what?
What's crazy is that they every single team that was better than them. Every single team. T1 was on paper, just gameplay, just better. Gen G
T1 was better. Gen G was better. EDG was better. Each team
and people can't say they had an easy road. Like, this is one thing they can never take away from DRX. People say they never had an easy road. This was not an easy road by any stretch of imagination.
No.
LCK winners. It's fucking T1. They had a runner up at MSI as well. It was the previous world champion. This was never an easy road. If anyone starts that narrative, you need to have your actual brain checked. Because if this is easy to you,
DRX being Gen G 3-1 was more of how Gen G just fell apart.
They fucking sprinted that shit hard.
EDG, if EDG adjusts in Game 5, they win, and they probably still lose to Gen G, and T1 wins. But it's like, you gotta look at like not T1. DRX was always one game from losing. Like, they always found a way.
And that in the LCK too, back when they're the qualification matches. I was like, how are they doing this? How are they always getting away with this? Even I was a non-believer. Like, this is gonna run out eventually. Because back in the day, it would always happen. The clock would strike midnight. The Cinderella story would be over. I love it.
Yep.
Playing stage will consist of the top 2 teams from the VCS, PCS, and the first seed teams from LLA, CBLOL, LJL, and the winner of the WQ Series World Qualifying Series. So yes, okay, I've advocated for this too. The playing stage is garbage. Let's be honest, these guys are gonna suck anyway. That is just a foregone conclusion that these guys will be absolute garbage. If anyone thinks any of these guys will be good, coming this year is gonna change anything. I've heard the same song and dance for going on now almost 9 years, guys. I'm not changing my opinion on how bad these guys are. Actually, what's even worse is that their records show it too. But I always said to make it a bit better for them, let them have another team. It shouldn't just be one team for them either. Have them having another team. It's not going to matter because they're not good anyway. So Riot just wants to fill out more fucking teams for Worlds. That's fine. So, in the first round of the Swiss stage, teams will be randomly paired with another from other regions. In all subsequent rounds, teams play BO1 matches against others with the same record. 3 wins to advance, 3 losses to be eliminated. BO3 matches will be played for deciders. Oh, I like that. Okay, now this is fine. We need a bit more BO3s at Worlds. I like that. That's fine. That's okay. I like that. I don't like BO1 random parity in Worlds group stages because you're sitting there going like, is this thing that this is probably the better team? It's like, what the hell? Like, I mean, having this for top esports would have been beneficial for them. Right here. Okay, that's pretty much it, right? Knockouts is still the same. BO5 till finals. Now, if people say they can't do double elimination specifically just for the timing of it, you actually can, because quarterfinals start typically on Thursday when it comes to Worlds. So we had it last year. It was Thursday, right? It started?
Yeah, Thursday.
Just start it earlier. You can literally start it earlier. The reason why they don't want to do it from timing perspective is because they probably have sponsors that say, hey, you need to move around. You can, if it's a timing issue.
You don't want to put too many games on a certain day. Just like you do gotta remember all the time though. That's what you got, unless you're willing to start it early. Most people don't want to put it past 8 hours. Like,
well, do you think if it's Worlds in general that won't matter? Because I think if it's Worlds, people will watch not after work or be like the quality of not the quality of the match, more like it's Worlds, so people will want to just watch anyway, and the viewership will definitely match up for it. Maybe
it's that's a
because I'm not gonna lie, man. I couldn't wait to come home and fucking watch that DRX versus EDG series. I didn't care if it was who it was. I just want to come in and fucking.
I was watching it live at
See, you know, you can watch it at work too.
I was watching it live at work. I mean, but that you gotta realize this year it was in America. That's me. It was
the time zone.
It worked this year. It was like because I was
next year it's not gonna work this way, dude. Worlds this year coming up about to start at like fucking 12 o'clock in the fucking night.
Depending on what day, I'll be able to watch it. Like, I got no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
like, I was able to watch it while I was at work. That's me.
I know Riot's mentioned fucking we can't do it because no, you can. You simply just start it days a bit So you would start, I don't know, on Wednesday or Tuesday. Just start it earlier. You can get a double elimination bracket set up there. Because if it's just timing, that's straight up bullshit, guys. They can just start the quarterfinals earlier in the week. And then when it's semifinals takes place Saturday and Sunday. You could have it you have your double elimination matches Thursday and Friday.
I don't know, MSK.
I don't think it's timing.
I think it is partially timing, but now you're adding more games. It's like you're already crunched for time.
People would still watch these games, man. People are still gonna watch these games.
Because like I said earlier, the stakes. It's like if I come and beat years ago, but they have more games to practice. It's one of those things where you're going to get complaint from no matter what. You're going to get complaint from people that say you need double elimination. Then you go get complaint from people that say that's not fair. They got more games. It's one of those things where it's like I'd rather sit on the side where it's like you know who you got to face, right? You know you practice. If I play a best of five and then the game's over, the only way I think they could do double elimination, they have to do both best of fives in that same day. That's the only way you're doing it.
They can do that.
That's the only way. But I'm still not.
My thing is, it's never a timing issue. That can't be possible because they did double elimination formats in the major regions without a timing issue being a thing.
But that's not World though. That's not World is different. World
they show that in the major regions they can just start it earlier.
But that's not World. That's not World though. This is a different format. This is you come in, you're like, okay, we're all playing. We got a set amount of time we want to work. It's
a month though. That's a month, man. I'm just saying. It's a month. That's 30 days. Because in other tournaments,
I'm just not a big fan of double elimination in World Championship. It takes away of the people who actually won the first time. I prepared. I beat you. Why do I gotta face you again?
No, but that's my thing is like if that was what they're truly thinking, then why introduce it for MSI? Because they had it for MSI and Worlds
because MSI and and people more like people could probably tell you who are world champions in the league, but probably will forget what MSI is, and that's the sad part about it. It's like you wouldn't remember MSI
because I think if you're introducing that, I think you should introduce the same across the board. Then why do you need double elimination at MSI? Right?
Because I think they're trying to test it. I think they want to test it if it's feasible. I think it's going to be feasible, but I think they're looking at
I'll say this. I think you're going to change your mind when you see it. I think
I've already seen double eliminations happen. I'm like, I see it.
Okay, for the LCS. Remember how we had the double elimination where 100 Thieves knocked out Team Liquid and they went to the losers bracket and Evil Genius were knocked out by Cloud9, went to the losers bracket. We knew they were going to face each other because their competition was fucking shit. Yeah. Right? But before that, when CLG were 2-0 up against Team Liquid, people were like, oh, wait, could CLG just knock them out? So I'm saying that has inherent stakes. But that's 5
games, though. That's mean you got 5 games.
Right.
Being up
and then
Team
Liquid beat CLG.
2-0 doesn't, 2-0, being up 2-0 doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like Team Liquid beat CLG. They went to face Evil Geniuses, and then having the stakes of the spring split winner go to the Worlds or Team Liquid's investment, like there is inherently stakes to that itself, right? Yep. I'm just saying, like I would say, losers bracket offers its fair share of stakes itself, but I mean there is that hype and anticipation of it just being the on the day type of thing. I do understand that it's a double-edged sword. I mean I've seen both formats. I do. I just always like having to see the teams more play. That's just what I would like. But then again, if they're going to give me a hot Korean girl. Wait, what is James doing tonight? Did James DM you at all today?
Nah, James don't really DM me like that. I mean, if it's not in the league. No, I mean, if it's not in the league, I don't really talk to James like that.
Oh, dude. Last night, oh my God. Jeez, what happened in the stream? Oh my goodness. I was trying to get the whole Lennon thing going. I was trying hard. Damn.
Yeah,
man.
I was trying to spit Riz too. I was like, yo, I'm dead ass serious. Like, if I fly out there, and I find out she's cute and all that, and I'm taking her back to Connecticut.
Yeah, she's not. People can think like, you know how certain girls present their faces as like they're fat or something. No, she's not fat at all. That is, she probably weighs about 130, probably, maybe, if that. She keeps saying she's fat. I'm like, you don't. She weighs probably like 130 pounds.
Nah, trust me. There's fat here. There's girls I work with that are fat.
Like, yeah, there's no way on this. You can look at her Facebook. There's no way she's fat under any circumstance. I don't believe it. Like, that's just what fucking girls do. But yeah, guys, those are the MSI rules for my changes. I think they're testing out double a limb with MSI. If they see the fan reaction to it, whether it be good or bad, they'll probably decide that for Worlds for 2024. But even if I'm not getting double elimination for Worlds, I'm glad they're at least changing it up. I'm glad they're at least changing up the seeding for how World is. Now, they haven't officially announced how the seeding is going to work either. That's a big caveat to that too. I'm scared. Because they've shown they can't adequately seed these teams the same. They actually legitimately think that RNG, if they're a third seed, is worse than a PCS first seed. That's bad. That's horrible. I'm just scared about how they actually will seed the teams. Oh, God. Now didn't they say that they're making the group stages a bit bigger, right? From what we just saw? Aren't they adding in more groups? Because most of the changes we've asked for, they did. I can't deny that. Like, I've wanted different things for a while, and I've got them. Because I think we mentioned, let's have more groups then. Let's just have more groups, you know?
That's what I'm saying, too. It's like...
Just have more if you can't adequately seed the teams correctly in the 4 you have more groups then. Just add in one. What's the worst thing but adding in another one? If people claim they love watching these games so much, it doesn't matter what you get because you're going to fucking watch the games anyway. And, I mean, Sony's are... I mean, I wouldn't want to see GAN play more games. I do not. I'm fine. I don't want to play anymore. Okay, BO1. Okay. Yeah, they're introducing BO3s. Okay, I see how it's going to work. Yeah, they haven't announced how the group stage will work. But that's fine. That's okay. They need to definitely not announce that yet. Because the fact that fucking Flying Oyster is seated above DRX just is mentally insane. Are you mentally retarded? Holy shit. But yeah, that's it for the episode so far. We'll probably just chill just for a little bit and talk. And after that, we just got to head out. Competitive predictions coming out soon. LCS first. The opening matchup, Banger C9 versus 100 Thieves. We'll get to predict for that soon. We won't be really doing predictions on here anymore. It'll mostly be just for that series, but we'll talk about them in general. Can't wait to have the season come back. Console Limit asked, what's going on with OCE? Can't they go to Worlds anymore? They can. They won't be doing anything at Worlds, but they probably can. Wait, did they not announce OCE? Were they not in there when I read that?
Yeah.
Were they not in there when I read that? No, you're right. They actually just straight up eliminated them from Worlds in contention in general.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, because these are the minor regions. The minor regions of VCS, all right? VCS, PCS, LLA. Yeah, that was OC's last year at Worlds, and they went 0-12 on the year. That's crazy. Yeah, OC is not going to be at Worlds anymore.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
To be fair, I'm not exactly this is kind of fucked up if I say this. No, I'll bite my tongue on that one. It's okay. Let's just say that's not the worst thing in general, when it comes to that. Because they've had many years to prove that they're at least somewhat of a wildcard team, and it never happened. So it's not going to be like I'm sad. Damwon had their own rebrand that happened. Damwon Kia rebrands to D plus Kia. This is also... Now, unlike 100 Thieves, this looks like shit. This just looks fucking bad.
Yeah, no,
this just looks so bad. Compared to this? Look how cool that fucking looks. Compared to this? Who is in charge of these decisions? Who makes these decisions? You went from a jersey that looks like that. I mean, you guys actually seen what they're gonna wear? That also looks bad. All this looks bad. Like, look how that looks cool. That looks cool as fuck. But the jerseys they're gonna wear, oh no, that looks fuck. God damn. Okay, well, I think Ashley had it. Their uniform, their jersey gonna wear. I would never wear that. The Genji jersey looks. This is definitely an improvement over what they had at Worlds. This looks so much better. Look up, that's clean as hell. That is super clean. Unlike the DRX freaking rebrand. Did you watch the show matches, right?
Yeah.
They were interesting. I'll say that.
They were.
Jensen and Jojo Pion were more than sprinting it. I don't know if they took the tournament that seriously, but
no, I think Jensen maybe. I think Jojo didn't.
That man on a Zero looks so boosted. That man looked boosted as fuck.
I think to speak my thoughts about the matches, I think Zoomers did take it seriously, but they were kind of nervous, in my opinion. I think they were happier to be there.
Yeah, like, I mean, you like the fact that Revenge was beating Solo, like, oh god, that was a game 3. It was game 3 when Revenge was playing. They drafted. This is why, like, I know people advocate that coaches don't know what the fuck they're doing, but the pro players, just if you didn't have coaches, that's what an indication of why you need a coach. Because the Boomer team, they opted into picking Sejuani into fucking Camille. It's like, what? That's not what is that? Like, if we go over the match, let's go over that. Did you miss? Okay, before we go over that, Dash wasn't on the analyst, the broadcast desk.
Yeah.
Not having him there was odd.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was pretty bad.
Odd. It was bad because the transitions were just
I like Kobe, I like Mark, and I like Captain Flowers, but they can't do what Dash does, guys. They can't.
They needed Dash. I think they were good, but they needed Dash there to help, transition better.
LCS, we don't need a consistent host. Fuck off, man.
I think to me that was money. I think they were cutting back, and they might have cut back a little too much. And I think now they're going. I think they're going with.
They're gonna get Dash back almost essentially full time. They won't announce it. You won't hear about it. They'll know what they did was wrong. They'll bring back Dash in a more
I don't
consistent fashion. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think LCS is like, we can't afford them. I think it's like we want them back, but it's like if you know someone's worth, if you know someone knows their worth is a lot more than you want to pay them, how do you pay them? Like, how do you pay someone when you don't have the money to pay them with? It's like you're stuck at a thing where it's like unless and they don't want to feel like they're overpaying them. It's like, but you might have to.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like, how? Okay, so on the LEC, you watched the LEC one, right? Probably had Quick Shot, all of them there. Yeah, Quick Shot was able to direct them because Draco's, K-Drill, and Vidius, they're not bad. They do what they do good,
but they need a leader.
But they're not Quick Shot. They're not a leader. They don't have that leader prowess to them, and there's nothing wrong with them personally. It's more like you saw the difference between having a host directing them versus not having a host, no direction. I was like, I felt so bad for all of them. I was like, damn, they need Dash so bad. Oh, Riot, what are you doing? I hate these people sometimes. It's like they gave me double elimination. They gave me my MSI form that I wanted, and then they took away Dash. I'm like, these people just don't know what the fuck they want. They always say they know what these fans want. They don't know what the hell these people want. Now, the viewership wasn't that great on YouTube, but on Twitch, it was pretty good for Twitch.
Because Twitch is
they care more now. They care more about Twitch viewership than YouTube, because YouTube it had like 5,000 people watching. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was horrible. That's bad.
Plus, the guys don't pay attention to the people on Twitch. On YouTube. It's like
all they care about is the Twitch numbers. That's it.
Twitch has the emote. It's like that's the thing too. It's like that's why when I was saying you were saying it was like 25,000. No, it's more like 30,000 because you can't forget the YouTube. Even though it's like unless you're willing to only stream to Twitch, and you have to do that, you gotta tell people, all right, come to Twitch. It's like either lose those 5,000 or you keep those 5,000 on YouTube, but you gotta acknowledge you got people watching you on YouTube as well. It was like because they were at times going around 40, 50. LCS had 40, 50,000 people, but it's like
the viewership. I mean, not gonna lie, they were right. They did. I told people they needed to change it, and you do kind of sack one for the other. But if that's the one you care about and you want to increase the viewership for that one, they got it. 40K at around because people said the timing was bad. I love people when they said the timing was bad and they people watched.
I didn't watch
45K.
I couldn't watch none of them live. I was either at work or I was asleep. Yeah.
It peaked at like what 40K they said 45 just for
I know
12 o'clock at day?
Yeah, the LCK peaked around 50, but the issue is also Riot Games got another 20,000. I'm like, Riot Games is streaming at the same fucking time as whoever is streaming.
Yeah, they stream it on the website and they do it on Twitch too. So yeah, 3 going their own website, Twitch, and YouTube.
That's me.
Plus co-streams when it goes for the season when it starts.
I think they might do co-streams less. I think they're going to do co-streams less. I think they realize they can't split the audience too much. They need to get the audience more focused on their channels. It's like I think they realize most of these people they want co-streaming don't really play League. Like Ludwig don't play League that much, and then even when he does, he fucking sucks. It's like okay, Cutie Cinderella, she already said she's not interested in co-streaming like that. Tyler1 rather just play and shit on you guys for sucking. Double Lift is playing again. That's a no.
That leaves just I will dominate an LS.
I think LS is probably if he would co-stream, he would probably co-stream like LCK or LPL.
Yeah.
IW dominate the only one. Him, Boss, is it Boss, him,
the Balfs? Is that his name?
Balfs, yeah, him. Maybe Travis Galford, maybe him.
No, Travis will be in the studio when it.
Okay, never mind. Because like I'm thinking of people.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sneaky and Medios, they'll co-stream.
Sneaky and Medios, yeah, they them. I'm trying to figure out who's big on League. Like because they realize maybe Yvonne and Scar. I was like, nah, they don't have a big enough audience where it's like
it's gonna like because you need that conversion rate. You need the people that are watching that to want to watch League more. Scar used to be a big part of the broadcast and the League scene, but he's been long since not involved the way
he mostly just plays TFT. Yvonne doesn't play convincingly enough. Obviously said she wouldn't do it. She said if she had a choice, she might come back, maybe. But it's like
Obviously wasn't. She was the interviewer lady they used to have before the Tigress, and I met Obviously. She's great. I don't know why they chose to get rid of her.
She chose to leave. She chose to go to G4 because I think she had.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah,
creative rate, and I remember because I was like,
she got paid more money.
Yeah,
over there essentially.
I kind of had a crush on her. She's kind of cute, she's kind of like goofy. I was like,
I put my face in her fucking butt,
Man,
but
I won't. Never mind. I won't shut up. But you got. It's all right. Cool. It's like you don't like the people you can have stream either don't want to stream or already will be working. Either Double Up playing or Travis Galford's go be in the studio. Maybe Sneaky Media. Sneaky.
They'll definitely do it. Sneaky Medias would definitely co-stream.
Yeah, like
so. Only people you're not doing it.
You're not getting Tyler One. Tyler One will not do it.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. That's the thing.
He said
he's more valuable to them than they are to him. That's how he sees it.
Yeah. Plus, he said he would be. Anytime someone fucked up, he'd be shitting on him so hard. He said he wouldn't want to do it because he would just be too critical. I'm like, no, that makes sense. Like he's like,
factor in. Like, Obviously, left for G4, and then G4 went under because, all these investments in esports, all of these didn't work out, really. None of them really worked.
I think G4 was kind of like, I think they try to do the old 2004 model in 2021. It's like this ain't 2004. It's like you gotta go. And the thing is too, all the shows were kind of bigger than the network itself. Like Name That Price was Austin show was kind of like people forgot it was on G4. When you watch it live, people will forget it was on G4 because a lot of times he would just air it on the. He would air the clips. He would air the whole show on his own channel, and you would forget that it was actually on G4. Was it the Donna show? People, it's like a lot of these people were bigger than the network itself, and that right there.
A lot of people have those rose tinted glasses for how things used to be.
It's like when you go back to those CBS, NBC, there were some shows that were bigger than the network they were on. Like 2.5 Men for a few years was damn near CBS. Like until like Big Bang Theory got to like season 3 or 4.
Don't forget, like, Warner Brothers produced Big Bang Theory. It was just licensed to air
CBS,
on
but
CBS,
but the studios were usually under CBS. Like
plus they had a deal with the CW anyway, so I imagine they're gonna do deals with each other anyway.
Like, but like no, okay, what it is studios. Okay, there's networks. You get a show that's produced by a certain company. Then you gotta license it out, and okay, what you got a production company that produces the show. Then you gotta try to get it to a network for it to air. Like most of the people, like I'll give you the perfect example. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was aired through
Fox, right?
Fox, but most of the stuff was done on like NBC Studios. That's why when they left Fox, NBC was the easiest person to pick them up. It's like they were already working for NBC. It's kind of like now with League. League has to be like, all right, cool. You got all these people. Who can we bring back that would be able to work? Because
Riot wants people to watch it to the main broadcast. But the reason why people don't watch it to the main broadcast is because people said the product isn't actually that good. So you choose to watch other people that are better than the casters and analysts at playing League. So you want to watch Sneaky, World's Accomplishments, Split Champion, I Will Dominate's been playing League forever. You'd rather probably watch Double Lift. Double long successful League player.
Yeah, you rather watch Double Lift. It's like because
I'd rather watch Double Lift with a scuff production out of his apartment in LA than watching the studio with the high quality production.
Getting blown by his girlfriend because sometimes there was because look at how Double Lift was moving in that chair. That motherfucker was getting head. He was because he was sometimes be a little too stiff and like not saying nothing, but then look like man, this motherfucker getting head right now. His balls. I'm like, get the fuck like Double Lift, you goddamn.
People would rather watch like even just shows like this. Like this is the best quality production we got to offer, but it's like people would rather watch this kind of style than the actual broadcast. Now that goes to show you how badly the broadcast actually was ran all these years in advance.
It's the same thing with all sports though, and that's the sad part. Is like people don't want people to be too technical. I think and the issue with a lot of channels now. Back in the day, people this is what there is. It's going in a cycle. Back in the day, people just want broadcasting about the players. You don't want to go too detailed. And then people was going to detail about how the player, how he doing, how his family, how his injury. And then people went to the technical stats. Oh, this guy threw 15 passes under 30 yards. And people cared at first, but then when you got too technical, people start giving a fuck. They don't want that. They don't want someone giving them these bullshit.
They like
stats.
that.
It's like
perceived authenticity to it, and when it's too high value of a production, people think it's like corporate. It's too like
it's like don't tell me that Speaker is this when he's a jungler. Tell me that like you could be technical, but don't be too technical. Like when Speaker plays this champion, he has a 55% win rate, but when and then you give a detail. Speaker's still reeling from that time where he timed his
failed that
world, and he froze his team by accident, and it was like people kind of want to hear that, but it's like don't it's like people want to balance, and a lot of times these commentators don't know the balance. It's like oh shit, it's like okay, it's like and that hurts because Cause
Okay, I found
then
the games right here.
And then people want to go to other places, and
yeah, because the thing that matter is that the broadcast isn't doing what they wanted. People find other avenues to go find what they perceive that they want. They just go.
I've known people that will wait till the clips come out, not just league,
the
but in
highlights.
general.
Yeah.
They'll wait for the highlights and it'll be like, all right, cool. And instead of watching it live, people will literally know they have time to watch it live and wait. Like I remember, like that because then.
Well, this was the first game you had where you're playing Cassante. This was the game that they actually won. The Boomers won this one. Solo actually tried to play. I don't know. Okay, Berserker still proving he's one of the best players in the LCS. This man single-handedly, you could say, almost carried his team throughout the whole thing. Berserker was playing great.
No.
Like,
he was playing great.
God. And I don't know if Jensen or Jojo Pion took it anyway seriously, because these guys were.
No, Jensen took it seriously. Jojo didn't. You can tell by the champion. Dude, okay, my biggest
Jojo is not an Akali player, guys. Look at what that man was doing in that team
fight.
My
biggest concern when it came to this was Bucio. That was my biggest concern. It was like, all right, he's gonna take the.
I don't know. He's gonna need a little bit of time to adjust to the stage. You can tell, like he played Zach and Karma in the two games, right? Yeah, it was Zach, Karma. I wasn't that impressed.
His Zach game was better. I think what it was just
it's hard to look good on Karma. Karma is a basic speed up shield champion.
Karma
she really is.
With him, I think he tried to take too much engages with Karma. It was just like, nah, like this game one, they were, oh my god, they were just taking bad
I'll say this though, Contracts actually looked really good.
No, Contracts was actually trying to win.
He actually might make COG compete for a top 5 spot, but I'm still gonna hold my judgment on that. But I still think Contracts played well. Contracts played great all the games.
To me, Contracts and Core JJ were their.
Core JJ played great, actually. Yeah.
See, this game alone is why I've been studying like how to like perfect playing Tarek, because like he played Tarek in a way I'm like, holy shit, like 4 kills, 2 deaths, 24 assists. I'm like, or 27. I'm like, what the fuck?
What was game 2? Game 2, I didn't get a chance to. Oh, this was the really close game. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this was actually really back and forth. I was surprised they even actually won. Like, it probably should have been a 2-0 from the Boomers.
It should have, but I think.
Oh, my bad. Bucio played Heimerdinger this game. Yeah, he was not. Maybe it was just an off day. I didn't think he was playing good at all.
To me, he played nervous. I saw how he was playing. He was playing nervous as hell. He never felt comfortable. I was like
people asked who Array was. Array is Golden Guards Academy's backup ADC. Stixay was sick, but it doesn't really matter because Stixay is garbage anyway. Having him wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Actually, probably been worse.
Wait a second. When Stixay been a Boomer?
Yeah, he would have been. That's why they had
Array, because he. No, okay.
I don't know why they just didn't choose Sneaky. But the problem here is you have to choose people in the league itself. That was the rule.
I'm about to say, because
they could have just chose Double Lift, but that would have been probably too good. Double Lift for JJ and Jensen. Holy shit!
But thing is, Double Lift is on team. If Double Lift wasn't on team, Solo, Contracts, Jensen, Double Lift, and Core JJ, that would have been like a 40-minute 2-0 with like you miss you go take a shit, man. You miss a whole game now. You don't want that. You don't want like Berserker versus Double of that would have been nice to see. Revenge
still played like shit. Revenge still played like shit. This is a fun match, and he still ran it down. This man is bad. Look at that. Why would you even be there? It makes no sense to be there. They already have Bear. This guy is Turbo Sprinter. This guy's a check stealer. Why even be there?
What team does he play for again?
Immortals.
Yeah, nah.
And they want to win a title with this guy. Good luck with that.
Title of worst LCS team.
Imagine playing that's a for fun match.
I just think Revenge played too bad, but I was like, man, my number one criticism of him is this motherfucker is doing dumb shit. That was my number one criticism. To me, Speaker was playing like he was playing like he had something to prove. Busio was nervous. Berserker was Berserker. JoJo was like, I'm the cocky motherfucker.
Look how quiet Busio was in this game. Busio wasn't talking at all, man. Like, that's the thing. They're gonna need. Like, I don't know how vocal they want him to be on 100 Thieves, but if he's not being vocal, as I don't know, man,
he's vocal because
scared.
We
want to shadow on this stage.
No, when we want to I don't think he took his. I think he either took his too seriously or he was just too nervous. Because I've seen Busio play. And
that's why I said, man, playing on stream when he's doing that is so much different than playing on a stage. It's so much different. There's people, you know how they mentioned scrims and stage? Yeah. That would be like his scrims. This is the stage. Like it's always first stage jitters. It happens to everybody. It's fine. But I hope this is not a continual thing that happens in the season, because that would really hurt them if he can't get acclimated to the stage and play as well as he's on stream compared to the stage.
JoJo really just got caught out of nowhere.
Also, Speaker actually kept him in the game. Speaker and Berserker was.
No, Speaker low key would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Berserker just carrying the
1v9ing the whole fucking thing. They're still lucky they had Berserker. They're so lucky they had Berserker and the Boomers had Array. What a big difference!
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not glad. I'm kind of glad sometimes Revenge was either dead or like somewhere else, because he could have easily just cost them the whole match. At times, I'm like, what the fuck?
He's trying to solo out Jensen. Misses everything, and then he starts attacking the red buff. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This guy got so lucky he was carried by his ADC. This guy is a check stealer, if I've ever seen one. But Berserker, that's the best ADC in the league. That's the dude. That's why Cloud9 would keep that guy. You need to keep players like that. Imagine they had someone else. But you have your game 3, and this, I thought they were gonna win this. He almost missed that too. Solo played like he was not trying to win.
No,
I get it, you're not really trying to win.
No, Solo playing like he didn't care if he won or not. Like you can see, you knew who was trying to play to win. Mm-hmm. Jensen, I think he wanted to win. I think he wanted to prove.
This LeBlanc game was bad. This LeBlanc game was awful from him.
Man, that was bad. No, the whole Boomers drafting was like.
This is why sometimes you need this is why you need a coach sometimes.
Contracts Viego. I was like, wait a second. Viego as a jungle? I'm like,
he's jungle. Sense? Yeah, Viego's a jungler.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait a second. Because I mostly see him as a mid laner, but then.
Because the thing here with picking LeBlanc in this comp is LeBlanc is supposed to pick people off in side lanes and get side lane pressure. That never happened in this game at all.
Nah,
you can't really pick off Azir because he can just shifting sand away. Camille could simply just lock you down. Maokai just could root you. Karma could just speed people up. Look, I told people this is sometimes why people are like, you don't need coaches, they ruin stuff. No, this game could be a good indicator as to why you need a coach. Because a pro player is going to think, I know better, I know this matchup better, I can pick this here and we'll win. Yeah, that's how you end up with drafts like that. The draft itself isn't entirely bad, but Sejuani into Camille, L, LeBlanc into Azir, going to be a mega L if you don't start actually utilizing LeBlanc very well. Viego was fine. Kaisa and Array and CoreJJ played fine.
CoreJJ played like out of his mind. I was alright. He's playing how I thought he was playing. I was kind of concerned at first with Berserker picking Ezreal, but I was like, okay, that does work. I was like, wait a second, Ezreal? Do you want to pick him going against Kaisa? But I was like, okay, that could work.
Like, see, right here, why would he even want to be here? And this is what TSMs are going to opt into this guy. He knows they're going to come because there's war.
Oh, no, solo game there was feeding. I watched this game about 4 times because first 2 times I fell asleep, but the third, 4th time I was like, no, game 3, he was feeding. There's no reason for someone who was engaged. I was like, and then
Contracts was playing out of his mind.
Contracts was like, this is the one thing about Contracts. He was catching motherfuckers slipping. Revenge, this is one of those times I'm like,
there's nothing you can do in that situation. That's fine. I don't really.
You got caught sleeping. That's what it was. You got caught sleeping. You didn't realize. Okay, you see Jensen there, right? Cool, but then you don't see contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I like how
this was when, Array got too chunked out by Ezreal right here. This is when he got too chunked out. And then they tried engaging on, was it Busio? Yeah, he see stuff like that. It's like we can't be in this spot. There's nothing.
I think
spot getting engaged on.
A lot of times that Busio was always in the wrong spot. They always chunked out the champions where it was like they were always in the worst spot. It was like,
now this is when Spica went back in. I was like, oh no, what are you doing?
That was bad. That was horrible. I was like, okay, this is. I was like,
what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. Look how fed their Viego was so fed. I was never gonna lie, this game is so over. But Jensen just kept getting out 1v1 by Jojo Pion.
This is why I'm saying, like,
sometimes you think like, okay, Cloud9 getting rid of him might not have been that bad of an idea.
This is why I'm saying, like, once Busio finally got the nerves out of from him, it was karma. I was like, all right, he's like, I think the main thing he has to learn is not to take unwanted damage. You gotta stop taking unwanted damage. It was like Core JJ with Pike was like, God damn, this motherfucker
is insane.
Revenge.
Busio pulled Kenvi V2. Both players are overhyped to the moon. I think they are overhyped.
Who?
Busio and Kenvi? I think they are, but we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, we know they didn't get them because they're going to be the best players on paper. They got them because, cheaper contracts. That's just how it's going to work.
Cheaper contracts plus easier for marketing.
They're good on camera for content. They want them just for that purpose as well.
I think that's where they're going for this year. I think they have to make up a lot of money that they're losing. I think 100C still wants to win, but they still have CS:GO they still have CS:GO, Call of Duty.
What is to look like shit like this? I know Jensen can play better than this, guys.
You gotta realize with 100Cs, they still have Call of Duty, CS:GO, and Valorant to fall back on. I mean, if the League of Legends team doesn't do as well, they still have 3 other teams that they achieve at. I mean, I think 100Cs is willing to take a hit on that this year.
The thing here is like I can believe they're still trying to win, having players like Beer.
Oh no, no, they're still trying to win, but But if they don't win, it's not the biggest thing in the world. As long as they don't underachieve, as long as they're not worse than 6th place, they're good.
Look at this kind of 1v1. This is unbelievably disgusting. He was going to lose that. If it doesn't matter if Jensen came, Revenge was going to lose that.
Yeah, that was bad.
This is some quality LCS gameplay we're getting here, boys. But yes, Zoomers ended up winning. I think the Boomers just threw. I think this is a complete throw in most cases.
I think they clutched up later. I think my biggest thing is
also I think Zoomers' comp is way better. It is so much better as the game moves on. Azir late game,
better champion picks too. It was like I think Core JJ outpicked Busio all 3 for the support. But my God, Solo in this game.
Busio, he tried playing the playmaking supports against him, and he was like, I can't do it.
But my God, Solo was just. He was WTF. It was you're sitting there, you're like, what the? It's like, okay, whatever he does, do not do. It's like you gotta learn from people's mistakes. Yeah,
because Array got caught out, right? Yeah. Okay, so this was where they got the Baron and they pretty much ended the game. So Array is right here. Yeah, he goes further. I'm trying to remember this play. Oh. Okay, I remember. They were all too chunked out anyway. Yeah. They got way too chunked out. Array thought he was stronger than he needed to be, and that's the reason why you're in Academy, because if you make mistakes like that, you give her a Baron, you lose the game.
Plus, also, there was 3 people in the Baron pick. I don't think... No,
they're all split. They were all split right here.
Contract didn't have fucking...
Ignite? No, he hasn't.
Okay, he has Ignite. Okay.
He doesn't have Flash, you mean. Flash is off.
Yeah.
So Contracts is right here. Jensen, he can kind of chunk them out. This is a good spot for both of them to be in. But their bot lane is right here. It's like, what the fuck? And Solo was dead. Yeah, I forgot. They already picked off Solo. Like, it was
Solo was dead. And then Array... No.
They shouldn't contest at all. That's like you do not contest.
Solo was a non-factor. That's why I said Solo. Every time they needed him, that motherfucker was dead. I was like, damn, this motherfucker just was.
This was bad on Jojo Pion too. They have Baron push and he gets picked up in the side lane like that. You're like, wait, what the fuck? No excuse to get picked up in the side lane.
That was actually a good play because the issue is boomers kind of forgot to pay attention to
the map.
The bot, they forgot so hard, and then that gave JoJo enough time to come back. It was like, all right, it was like the main thing was like, all right, can Busio stay alive long enough? Because Busio Karma was getting chunked out all day. It was like, all right, just make sure that you keep Berserker alive, even though
that's
Berserker
all he needed to do. Like he played so.
Berserker played out of his fucking mind. Jesus.
They were like, okay, no more playmakers like Zach and Heimerdinger. You need to just be on karma duty and just
be on. All right, cool. Just literally be an actual support. Do not be like a support that does something. Like
God, I hope that and I hope you're gonna be like, I'm kind of ragging on him. I hope this is not an indicator that he is gonna struggle to play playmaking supports during the split.
I think it's different. I think with this, I look at it there, right?
It's good to have this to get those nerves out of your way.
Yeah,
this is good to have
because like right here, once they got the ace, it was a wrap. Like
this is just over
because even though Berserker and Busio are dead, they at that point didn't need them. Like,
didn't need them.
no, definitely Busio. I think Berserker being there would have just ended the game a lot quicker, but it was like, all right, JoJo came back and it was like, yep, it's GG's. Yeah, freaking Solo being dead for like damn near half the fucking game just it relatively just hurt the boomers. I think Jesse gave up halfway through.
Weird.
I think Jesse gave up halfway through, and I think Core JJ was like, I think him and Contract were the ones that were actually trying to do something.
I think. Because in the LCS, it was random. In the LCK, they drafted their own teams with Faker and Deft. Yeah, because I'm being honest with you guys. If these guys are able to draft their own teams, they will not be picking Revenge and Solo. That would not be happening.
I think they went with whichever player is Boomer, whichever player is considered a Zoomer. It's like Zoomer had to be someone who was born after 1997. I think Boomer was anybody born before 1997. Or 1996. It was something like that. Because like for Zoomers, because think about it, you gotta take one player from each team. Do you swap out who's the top laner for Zoomers again? Who's the top laner? Solo. No,
Revenge.
Do you swap out Revenge for Tenacity and you get another support?
Yes. Oh, but it couldn't. Yeah,
No, that's what it almost came out to. Tenacity. I think if they go back, they would have had Tenacity as the top lane, and because they think about this. Okay, Revenge is for what team again?
Immortals.
IMP, right? Immortals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you gotta take the support from Immortal. Then you gotta take him if he's a Zoomer, because the thing is, it was hard because you gotta find the players who weren't on the same team. That's what made it more difficult because you gotta find supports that are Zoomers. It's like if Immortal's support was a Zoomer, I would have took Tenacity over Busio any day, like because I like Busio, but I think he has definitely get the nerves.
This was a good experience for him to play on stage because you could tell he wasn't even talking because he was like, okay, I'll just let the veteran players just guide me on how to win because he literally got off playmakers and went to Karma. What that usually implies is like he's having a really bad game or a really bad day, or they don't think he can play playmaking supports very well. Like you just play Karma, heal, speed up, and shield. That's all you need to do. Like he'll probably even say, "Yeah, my ADC was carrying me." He definitely was, but that's to be expected. So when you have players like Berserker, the LECs was weird and also weirdly fun. That's pretty much it. Team Faker and Team Deft, those were fun. The LCKs was fun. All of it was fun. This is supposed to replace the All-Star event. Don't forget, All Stars lost its luster many years ago, even before it basically imploded itself. But yeah, that kind of wraps up this episode so far. We'll be here for like another few minutes, and that's it. Competitive predictions will be out next week. Got a few videos to drop for you guys. No, one video to drop for you guys before the season starts. The LPL will begin the 13th. I'm pretty sure that means tonight, essentially. It should, most likely. But if not, it'll be probably be Saturday into Sunday. So that's fine. LPL starts, then LCK, then the rest of them. Can't wait to have the season back. The season is back. Remember, guys, 2 episodes of this a week now because everything's just so compacted now. But it's nice to see the players play again. I'm not hyped to see Solo or Revenge. I think TSM having fucking Solo is going to be so bad for them. I know Sean was like, he'll just do his job. Yeah, sure, there's better people out there that can just do their job, okay? Hey, why do people just settle for players like that? You don't have to settle for anything. You don't just play a player that just does their job. That implies to me he's about to get completely destroyed, and he's going to be a massive weak link on the team. Same thing with Revenge. You could argue, yeah, he does his job, but he doesn't. Revenge is supposed to be a carry player. Carrying get a loss is probably his specialty, but that's just me. What is Fudge doing? Oh, Fudge is streaming. Yeah, but can't wait for these teams to play finally. Cloud9 versus the 100 Thieves opening matchup. We'll be predicting for the matchups coming up very soon. There's not much else that's going on. I'm doing more content on the main YouTube channel. If you guys want to subscribe to that. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure to smash the like button. That's pretty much generally it. Anything else going on with you, man, before we head out in a little bit?
Nothing too much. Just catch up on league shows and all that. Just try to figure out more about how league works and all that.
Sean copes a lot. We know Sean copes a lot. The amount of outrageous takes this man has told me blows my mind. Just completely blows my mind. I should hear them takes. Some takes is awful, but Lord, maybe who has worse takes, Warren's or Sean? I don't know.
I think Warren. I think because Warren, even though I think Sean sometimes takes are what the fuck. They're not overly bad. They're just wait.
They're just wait, what? It's after you get past the initial shock factor, you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see what you're saying. Warren's is the LPL is better than the LCK. The LCKs beat them all the time, essentially. No,
it literally took DRX winning those things to say, oh, they're not over. They weren't overrated.
They played. No, Sean and Warren both. They were playing just fine. They were actually playing more than fine in the playing stage. They actually played better in the playing stage than they did in their actually their own region. They played fine, and when they played against RNG, the gameplay it wasn't like a stomp that DRX. It was a back and forth game. Yeah, RNG did kind of draft a bit worse, but it was still a very close game. Could have went either way. DRX narrowly came out above them, so it wasn't like that RNG even played bad against them. That's how really close games go. You're going to have a winner and a loser. That's how they go. There's nothing else you can really offer to that. Now, the thing here about the World Tournament was I was just trying to say that it didn't really matter what really happened, because the fact of the matter is I said this and I'm still going to say this. I'm still going to say this, and I'll say this year going too. Korean teams will be top of their group this year coming up too. Nothing will change. This has pretty much never changed. Unless I see some consistency in them not topping their groups, then I'll change my mind. But 1 year it's going to be but it's a new year. Doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a new year. You literally have almost all of world's histories when they started groups to be man, Korean teams are always getting at top. They're always first place. Well, this year is different. Why? Because it's a new year. That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean shit. It's what are you talking about, you fucking crackhead? What? So 12 years of getting out first, but it's a new year. What about when it was a new year all these other years? That doesn't count. What the fuck? Remember, people, Damwon only got second place in their group because JDG managed to get another game to beat them. Damwon, as you saw, were a much better team than JDG was.
Yeah.
Damwon completely ran through them consistently. Just because Damwon got second for that tiebreaker game, and then they actually ended up facing Gen G. Imagine a world where Damwon doesn't get JDG. Damwon beats JG in that decider game, and then you have JDG facing off against Gen G. How different of a world that would actually be, you know? Damwon would have faced Rogue, and that would have been a wash. That would have been a complete wash. Damwon would have just ran through them. And also, the world format. That's the last thing I want to mention. Is there were so many years watching just unnecessary games. Like, just this year. I'll use this year as an example. Remember how, like, after NA would win the first game in the week, was considered week 2? Remember how after that they lost, and then the rest of the day you knew they were out, and it was only just a speed run to see who would be first out of the group? The world's format was so bad at certain points. Meaningless games was just a thing. The day would start, you go into like, oh, this might be different. This might be different. No, it usually always put out the same. The first game would kind of go not how you expected. There would be a weird mini little upset. Then after that, it would play out just the same. That team that did that little mini upset would lose, and then that essentially means they're out, and then you just speed run through the day. This Worlds showed that the format needs to change. There shouldn't be, like, I watch Worlds, and then after the first game, literally after the first game, none of it technically matters. All that matters is seeding. That's it. It didn't matter if Cloud9 beat Fnatic. They lost to EDG and got destroyed. Then you knew Cloud9 and Fnatic are out. So that means you have just I wonder who's left. 100 Thieves group, Gen G and fucking RNG. Man, I wonder after what? After 100 Thieves beat Flying Oyster, then they faced what? Oh yeah, RNG. They lost to RNG. You're like, okay, they're out. It's over. Like, too many. It was so fast to decide who was going to get out. That's what happened for a lot of years of Worlds too. But we're going to head out of here after we read the last comment from Intensive. Warren said Astralis would make Worlds after. Yeah, Warren keeps saying that SK Gaming is a good org. Like, no, they're no. SK Gaming is so bad, man. But like, they'll make playoffs. Oh my god. No, they won't. SK Gaming is bad. SK Gaming and Astralis are legitimately awful. And nothing this year is going to change that. Yeah, like, okay, you can add better players, technically, but it doesn't really matter if the core foundation of the roster is still not good.
No, it doesn't matter. If other teams get better, like, you only get as better as you were. It was like...
Right, yeah. Because Fnatic and G2 and Rogue and Mad Lions, well, not Koi, they're going to get better too. Just because SK Gaming and Astralis would get better in whatever sense they think better is.
That's when they go from 8th to 6th place. But you still get smoked. It's like with Nick fan. Nick fan's like, oh, we're gonna be in 5th. We're gonna be in 5th place in the playoffs. No playing game. We still get fucking smoked by the four seeded team. It's like we just get a better chance to lose. It's like
you give yourself a slightly better chance of winning, getting a slightly better player, but the results are still the same. So like basically with SK Gaming is that they are always borderline a playoff team or out of playoffs. So they're usually like a 6th to 8th place team. Now, some of the times they've even made playoffs is only really because the other teams that didn't make it were just that much worse than them. So they're not actually a good team in general. They really ever had good teams. Like, they're not a good org under any circumstance. Most of the time, their players are complete trash. They've had good players that have played in the team, but overall, like, SK Gaming will be just what I predict this year. A 7th, 6th place team. They're usually out in the first round of playoffs anyway. Nothing's changed. Like, Astralis too. Astralis has not made playoffs ever at all either. They'll be out in the first round anyway. And that's why it's kind of doesn't matter if you talk about those teams anyway, because you know they're going to be out in the first round of playoffs. I know SK Gaming will get knocked down the first round of playoffs anyway, because they did it for many years. Nothing's changed at all. You know, but that's just me. That's how I think. You know, I think I have to take in consistency in this too. I can't just be like they'll play better because random reasons. You know, that's not really analysis, quote unquote. But I hope it all changes, guys. I'm gonna start playing some League after this. I don't think I'm streaming on my. Yeah, I'll probably stream a bit later on. I don't know. All right, so see see you guys next week. Wait, will we need an episode next week? I don't think we do. I mean, if you want to go over LPL games, I guess. I mean, if we go over LPL, LCK games, then sure. But if not, then hold on. Give me one separate it out. One more thing. So next week's episode will probably just be LCK or LPL. We'll probably do LCK because it's going to be DRX versus D plus Kia. D plus and Genji versus T1. Genji versus T1 is about to be a banger. Calling it right now. Law Esports. When is the LCK starting? LCK is the schedule. When is LCK? LPL is tomorrow. And the LCK is... When is the LCK? LCK is Wednesday, January 18th. That's next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. So... Yeah, we'll have the episode on... That's a weird one. That is an odd one. Because that same week is when the LEC starts, too.
Yep.
Well, would it be Friday we'd have to have it? We have to have it Friday.
Yeah.
We have to have it Friday. Yep, that's the... Because on Thursday... No, because the LCK games... No, we have it Thursday. We have it Thursday. Because the games start on the 18th, we would have it on Thursday because the games would go the night going into the day.
Yep.
But would that be... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll probably have it Thursday. Yeah, we'll have it Thursday or Friday, give or take. We'll have to see how it goes. But all right, guys. See you later. Peace out. See you next week. Deuces.